right, we are going to talk about plant foot today. We're going to talk about planting on your heel, rotating correctly. When I say correctly, I mean correctly if you're trying to throw further, have more accuracy, stuff like that, but it might not be the correct thing to do all the time. We'll get to that at the end, but right away we're going to talk about why you should rotate on your heel and how you can do it. So why should I rotate on my heel? Rotate on your heel allows us to use the energy we've got from the left side of our body and transfer it into that rotation. So I'm going through my run up, I'm getting everything ready, we're getting to go, and we get to about here, and I rotate backwards, and I set up my plant, and I've got all my weight pulled back, got my shoulders back, got my hips back, got my arm reached back, everything's away. We have wrapped up all the stuff. Everything is turned away from the basket, we're ready to throw. We're here, we're good to go. So in a correct, my form of correct form, what's gonna happen is when I go here, I'm gonna take my left shoulder, my left hip, and I'm gonna swing them in, boom, 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 boom. And that's gonna get me into my pocket. It's gonna get me right here. So I'm gonna take my whole left side of my body, rotate it into here. So now I've got this guy started right here. So when I'm here, if I wanna continue all of that rotation I just did from here to here, all of that, if I want that rotation to continue, it's gotta go boom, and then continue here with these two. So the first half of my body, left side, it's rotated back, and it goes from like, let's see, find my leg is like right here, and it goes shoot, and my leg does that rotation with my shoulder. You see that? Boom, boom. So shoot, and now we've got this, arm and elbow, boom, they're right here. They're ready to go. Your arm is perpendicular to your leg, basically, down here. Now all that rotation goes into this leg, and we rotate it out that way. And so now this and this, boom, are rotating out. So we've rotated the whole left side of the body into the middle, grab that energy from the left side, put it on the right, and now rotate the right side of that energy. So what I'm doing there is I'm actually transferring all of the power I get in my run up from the left side of my body down into the middle, and then right back out the top side, right out the throw, right out the right leg. And when you do this, to make sure you don't lose any energy, is you want to follow through smoothly. You want to have the I don't know how to put it, like not the wavelength, but like the frequency of your follow through can't be too rigid. If you go to follow through and you got a bunch of motion going on, you're putting that stored energy you just built up into here, and you're not putting it into that. And so we need to make sure it's smooth, simple. We get here, boom, boom, boom. So that's why I would probably want to rotate on my heel. If I can get clean energy transfer from here, here, here. And I can rotate from this side to this side out the disc. So that's why we want to rotate on our heel. How do we do it? It's easier to say how not to do it. So how not to do it is very simple. I'm going to show you an example. This is my plant foot. This is my back foot, my plant foot. We're going to watch the plant foot. My weight right now is right here. The disc is going to represent where my weight is. So if I go to here, boom. If my weight is on my left foot, that's where my weight is. My weight's on my right foot, that's where the disc is. So here's the weight right now. The weight of my body is distributed super evenly. Take your right foot, rotate it. Yeah, it works. Pick my heel up. I can do a little more, bigger rotation. Go to my toe, pretty big rotations. I got mobility everywhere here. So my weight's in the middle, I've got lots of mobility. Put the weight over the top foot. So now my back foot's kind of up a little bit because my weight's over here. Rotate, leave the foot down. Hurts, no mobility, a lot of friction. Pick up the toe, or pick up the heel. Or sorry, pick up the toes, rotate on the heel. It's okay, I don't have as much mobility, I feel like I'm gonna fall over. Go to the toe, all the mobility in the world. Put the weight all the way over here. It's like I've already been throwing, and I went to throw, my weight was already past me, which happens to a lot of players. They throw and their weight is here. So I'm gonna simulate that by putting my left leg over here. This is gonna actually get my weight somewhere in here. That makes sense? So now I've basically simulated if I were to be throwing and have my weight over my foot completely. So now, foot's flat on the ground, I can get like a half an inch and I'm falling over. Go to my heel, oh, I can't even do it. Go to my toe, no problem. I can rotate on my toe all the way around. There's no mobility issues with rotating on the toe. So what we've learned is when my weight is back here, I can rotate on my toe no problem. When my weight is up here, I can rotate on my toe no problem. When my weight is back here, I can rotate my heel no problem. And the further forward the weight gets, the harder it becomes to rotate on my heel. So when I'm here, it's a little bit. When I'm here, it's almost nothing. So I need to make sure my weight is behind my plant foot when I go to rotate on my heel. And you're probably wondering, how far? How far behind? Do we want it all the way back here? So that we are basically like, if anybody knows what a tendu is, basically just putting a tendu out there. That's not what we want. There's not enough control here. All your weight is on this foot, and you're almost jumping into that one. For me, it's just slightly off center, slightly left. It's because it transfers the whole time. It moves. It's a fluid object. If I could freeze time, you'd see where the weight was, but it never stays anywhere. So I'm here, boom, we get into here. My weight's still on the back. Weight is still on the back foot, slightly. I go to throw, I'm here. My weight is now made it to about here now. So I have fully rotated this part of my body. My weight is about here. Now when I go to rotate, boom, I go to my throw, I rotate out, I start throwing. My weight is still behind my right leg. I haven't put the weight forward yet. And that's good. We want the weight to go into the disc, not into the forward of your body. So when I'm here, I'm ready, boom. And now, all of my forward momentum, I'll call it my X velocity that's going that way for my run up, there was a value in there. I was moving my body this way, so it's not gonna stop. So I've now thrown, I'm behind my foot. Now I can stand up. This is really hard to do in slow motion. I can stand up over the top of my foot. If you want the best example of this, watch Thomas Gilbert throw a backhand in slow motion. He throws, he throws, and right here, his leg is so straight. It rotates through and his body like follows through so perfectly over this right leg. It is so pretty. Check it out. Slow motion, Thomas Gilbert. Boom. This leg looks great when he follows through every single time. And it's because his weight is way back here. He throws the disc into it, and now he's able to just rotate and follow through. And his weight is behind it. And if you want to see how easy it is, do this. Stand like this and go like this. Rotate and then start walking that way. Boom, nice and easy, super easy. Now, put your weight up in your front, and now we're gonna rotate on our heel and start walking that way. Like, it's really hard. I have to pick up all of everything, get above it, and then rotate through the ground as hard as I can. So, these are all good things. Rotate on the heel is something you wanna do. It is not a solution though, it is a variable changer. It doesn't fix problems, it creates new ones. So I rotate on my heel, boom. What have I done? The problem I've now created is I'm throwing the disc further. And another one, here's one that you probably wouldn't realize. When I do this, we're gonna talk about like surface area right now. How much, well, I'll refer to it as being grounded. So how much of my body is touching the ground when I disperse the energy? When I explode, when I press the trigger on the gun and we shoot the frisbee, how much is there? I'm looking at the groundedness, and when I throw a regular power shot with my form with the heel rotation and I get to the throw, I'm on my toe back here, or the ball of my foot mainly, and my heel right here. So if a whole foot is 100, a heel is 25, a toe is 25. There's 200 total groundedness I could be. Right there. Both my feet flat on the ground is 200. Here and here is only 50. So that means I'm only 25% grounded right now. If I were to throw this shot with bad technique, i.e. follow through with my weight on top of my foot to where I plant and rotate the whole thing, this is what I look like at my release. 100% on the ground, 25%. So now we're looking at, what is that? 125 out of 200, that's 5/8. 5/8, I don't know, what is that, like 50, 60 something percent? I don't know. 5/8 is a lot better than 1/4. That is a way better probability. And you're thinking probability of what? what could this surface area have to do with the surface we're doing? I'm talking about ice, I'm talking about snow, I'm talking about mud, water, rain. If I have less surface area touching the ground, the amount of pressure that is being exerted on the ground is higher because it's a smaller point touching. Therefore, there's more likely of a chance I fall and I slip because I've got more pressure going into a smaller point. It could slide right out from under me. So using this heel-based technique is awesome for throwing far, but I can't tell you how many times I've been on a golf course and it's soggy as hell. They watered the course 3 hours before we started our round, and it rained, and it's drippy, it's muddy, and I take the smoothest, cleanest, softest run up. I go so slow. I'll even try to example. I'm gonna throw one. I'll throw a shot like this with a putter, something like that, and that heel rotation slips right out from under me, and I eat shit. And it's because I was using my heel technique. This technique is good for distance and it's good for form, but it's bad for bad conditions and it's bad for accuracy if you're not good at it. So remember that all of these things that I'm teaching you, they're not improvements, they're variables, and it's up to you to use those variables when you need. You've got a toolbox full of shit, but like, you're not gonna screw in a nail with a hammer. So you gotta grab the right tools at the right time and know when to use it. So good luck with that. I hope it helps. I hope you can hear me fine. I filmed this video like 4 times and the mowers showed up every time. So I had to cut. So good luck. Have a good rest of your day.